finally time for me to release my Miss USA 2022 pre-arrival favorites. Welcome to the channel. My name is Dani Walker. I'm a former Miss Montana USA. I'm also a pageant coach and judge. I am so happy to have you here for this episode. If you enjoy content like this, please consider subscribing to support the channel. You can also hit that super thanks button. Don't forget to click those notifications. And of course, feel free to share this episode with a friend. I am so excited to dive into this episode. I want to talk about some things that I've noticed overall from the contestants for the pageant itself, the shift that we're seeing with Crystal Stewart directing this new era of Miss USA. And I'm gonna have probably some surprises in this episode, or maybe some contestants that you think that I missed. So feel free to cheer for your favorites below in the comments, but let's always keep things respectful and encouraging of our contestants. Very quickly, before I reveal these ladies to you, we need to have a little heart-to-heart right here, okay? I know that you may have your favorites, and I have my personal favorites too, but we are looking for a Miss USA, a contender at Miss Universe. So just as a reminder, I'm gonna throw these ladies up on the screen over here. We need someone who's going to compete with Philippines, with Thailand, with Jamaica, with so many other powerhouse countries right now, okay? So periodically, I might need to just throw their photos up as a reminder to you who we are picking for Miss USA. And that's why I hope that if we think about this, if we keep this in mind, then you'll understand my favorites a little more. I'm gonna share about these ladies with you in no particular order. Ohio is on my edge. She's from Proctor Productions. They manage Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania. This year, Michigan and Kentucky walked for Sherry Hill's New York Fashion Week, but Ohio didn't. So I'm not really sure why that happened, and Pennsylvania didn't either. But I will say that Ohio has stood out to me here and there. It appears that she works as a model. I see her hairstyled all these different ways, so I'm not sure how she's going to compete with it. I see her wear it up a lot in a style that looks kind of similar to Elle's. So if I were her, I would just do something different, just to be more unique, more myself. I really liked her hair here. I loved it. I love the volume in it. So that's what I'm hoping to see. But I do think that she has some great wardrobe and styling. Proctor Productions works very closely with Henry's Cloud 9, and they do a really good job styling contestants. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio in something fabulous. Arizona, I must say, has surprised me. She has really risen above and started to stand out. First of all, she's extremely photogenic, and I think that that's probably what's capturing most people's attention. But what I really like about her is her usage of social media. And this is what we saw a little bit more of as we got later into the IMG era, where contestants were sharing about their stories, their lives. And it seems now with Crystal Stewart, since there wasn't a big emphasis on a contestant's story or her background, that a lot of contestants have removed that strategy from their social media. But I don't think it's a bad strategy to have to get more people voting for you for the fan vote. And I really think that Arizona did an outstanding job with this. Couple of things to mention, she is half Thai. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about that. She is a Taekwondo artist. She is a future doctor of physical therapy, and she's also an author and an illustrator. Very cool. She volunteers a lot. I know the director of Arizona, big fan, and she always has her contestants very involved in the community, whether you realize that or not. The Arizona title holders continue to be very involved. One of the best examples is my sister, Queen Nicole, Miss Arizona USA 2018. She's still very involved with the Miss Arizona USA organization as well as within the community, and I love that about her. She has such a servant's heart. I will say though, as much as I love her, my concern for her placement is her walk. She tends to bounce into her poses, and she has a left swinging arm, so that's something to look out for in the Crystal Stewart area. She's going back to that Trump era in a way where the walk is very important. They love those model looking walks, nothing too pageanty. So that's something to really pay attention to. Illinois, I talked about her in my Cancun episode. She is so gorgeous. Personally, I think she's just one of the most facially stunning contestants this year. Absolutely love her. Look at how she stands out in every single image. She works in medical aesthetics. She is Puerto Rican. Oh my goodness, is she bilingual? I don't know. She is very petite, which doesn't bother me one bit. I think she is so stunning, but I'm wondering, Can she speak? Does she interview well? And what does her walk look like? Those are things that I haven't yet seen from her. But if she has those other things, and if she has a decent performance for those, and if Crystal Stewart continues to host swimsuit and evening gown prior to interview, then I see Illinois back in that top 8, that top 5. However they decide to break it up this year, I see her breezing through to that round of competition. Georgia is somebody who has just been on the edge for me, and I know that there's a lot of people who are big fans of her, and I know that Georgia is such a big pageant state, but I feel like her styling has been very inconsistent. If we look at this photo right here of her at an event, this looks like I'm ready to go to Miss America. This gown, the hair, the 2010s silver eyeshadow, all of that stuff combined makes me think more Miss America versus this image shot by Carlos Velez, and she is looking like a true Miss USA contender here. And see the difference of styling, right? That could be the difference between you and your placement. So I'm curious, which Miss Georgia is gonna show up at Miss USA? Friends, I have no idea. Also, I've been looking at her walk. She's been practicing, and I will say that her walk sometimes to me is coming across as a little bit teen. Sometimes it gets a little shoulder heavy, more than what I personally like in a walk. It looks like they've placed an emphasis on her core posture, which of course is an important thing, but they're neglecting the shoulders, and I really want to see relaxed shoulders. I'm making a very quick mention of Nebraska because I don't know enough about her, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think that she's beautiful, but I just don't know anything about the walk or her speaking abilities or her pageant history. Massachusetts, I got to meet her last season at Fashion Week at Sherry Hill. She is so full of energy. She's so sincere when she meets you. She's very present in her interactions. I love that about her. Yellow and gold are clearly her colors. She won in this marigold type of gown for her state competition, so I'm curious to see if that's what she's going to be bringing to Miss USA. It's not a bad plan, honestly. I think that she's very naturally beautiful. She's so tall, she's so statuesque. The only thing I would say is to watch the left arm in the walk. I don't know what it is about that left arm. I see a lot of that in pageantry. It's interesting because most people are right-handed, but that left arm, a lot of people have a problem reeling it in. Kansas is giving me Elle vibes. The reason I really like Kansas is because she has come across as very relatable on social media. She has a wonderful mixture of images and styles. I think that she's been a lot more daring with her wardrobe than most contestants. She even had a pretty unique gown that she won in for her state title. She's 6'1" and she's a freelance journalist. She recently graduated college and she decided to be a freelance journalist just in case she wins that Miss USA title. I think it's a good plan, and I think honestly, she can do it. She released a video of herself letting people get to know her, and you have to go watch it. But this is a great example of the personality that she's been showing online that I hope is gonna carry across in her interview. She even had this Leslie Knope reference from Parks and Rec, and it was so cute. It was so likable, so much personality. Not only is she stunning, but I think that she could potentially be a really great Miss USA and a great contender at Miss Universe. She's who I'm looking at. These are the ladies that are standing out to me this year, but be sure to comment below who you're watching out for. Who are you rooting for? Vermont, I cannot get enough of her. She needed to post more. She needed to post more this year. I have not seen nearly enough. I remember that I believe I featured her in my Cancun episode. She wore this really cute color blocked dress, great image here. She's photogenic, also a contestant who seems to have a knack with social media. She looks very, very marketable, but we're just not seeing a lot from her. She's incredibly fit. She's just stunning. What in the world, Vermont? What in the world? You really gotta get on top of things. She's got cute little outfits too. I am excited to see her. She's also a NICU nurse. She's a nurse. I love it. Oh, maybe that's why she hasn't posted a lot. Ooh, yeah, nurses are really busy. That would be tough to win Miss USA as you're studying to become a nurse. It's a little rough. It's a little rough. South Dakota, she's cute. I don't know much about her, but she's doing a fantastic job with her social media. I could see a little career for her after USA in that. I love her look. Her outfits, oh my gosh, she has had some of the best styling throughout this year, I think, of the contestants. She could place, I don't know, I just don't know much about her. New Jersey is one of my semifinalists at least. At least. I have really grown to love her. She competed for 7 years. Girl, you and me, for her state title. She has a brother with spinal muscular atrophy, and she coordinated an adaptive fashion show because she went to school for fashion prior to New York Fashion Week, and it was beautiful. It was lovely, and she's one of the few that I'm seeing that is sharing about causes that are important to her through social media. We've seemed to lost that during the Crystal Stewart era. We're hearing less about their personal stories and even less about the organizations that they care to support. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense though, because it looks like they've turned Miss USA, currently Elle, for example, just into an influencer. I don't see her at as many charitable events this year, or at least that's not publicized. I just see her out having fun, doing things, and living the life that a lot of girls want to live as influencers, but without the influence. And I think that that's going to be important in the future. I think that we should still have that. Anyways, New Jersey, she has really, really grown on me. She's got my heart. Kentucky, I see her advancing. I see her at minimum in the semifinals. I love her fresh look, very much like Elle, actually. Speaking of Kentucky, look at that. They're having some consistencies in their crownings. She also just walked for Sherry Hill's New York Fashion Week. I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed thing. I'm just saying that a lot of queens that walk for Sherry Hill's New York Fashion Week prior to nationals or internationals tend to win the title. Catriona, Elle, for example, just something to mention. I love her look. I think her styling's great. She's incredibly fit. Her Instagram says that she is a model, an actress, and a real estate investor. Very interesting. North Carolina, no surprise here. RPM does a fantastic job, and for some reason, North Carolina is a highly competitive state for their directorship. They also have South Carolina, Alabama, and Louisiana. And I just have to say, the current title holder, she is so beautiful, she doesn't even need makeup. I saw a clip of her walk, and I think foundationally it is there, but I will say she's gotta be more energetic facially. I don't know if she just wasn't in this clip because she's really holding back, but it's not the time to hold back. It's Miss USA and you need to bring it. And I feel like she has all of that facial beauty, but it'll mean nothing if there's nothing behind her eyes. Pennsylvania, she is photogenic, first of all. Second of all, very tall, very statuesque. Third, I like her walk. She has presence when she walks, and that is what is working for me. But I need to know, why in the world did she not walk for Sherry Hill this season? What in the world happened? This woman won her state title in a plain black evening gown. This is like what we would see contestants win their titles in the early 2000s. Very simple, form-fitted evening gowns, all about the woman. Oftentimes back then we would see title holders win with their hair in a ponytail, and then they would just wear these beautiful glistening rhinestone earrings. That is what used to win. But the gowns of today have just gone so over the top with the rhinestones, the beading, the fringe, that it's very difficult to stand out in a plain gown anymore. It's just not what contestants are competing in. Yet she won in a gown like that. And if you look at the lineup of contestants, she managed to stand out in a plain black evening gown. This contestant doesn't need diamonds to shine. You should be paying attention to that. Texas, who everyone talks about, is a Filipina. So she's got a lot of fan support, but also I think it's very well deserved. She's beautiful. She has a great walk. I've heard that she's very involved in her community. I am surprised though that she has not posted that much, on the Miss Texas USA account. That to me is something I wish we would have seen more of, like Taylor Kessler's year, for example. I think Taylor did a fantastic job keeping the momentum of her title, especially considering because of COVID, she was the historically longest reigning Miss Texas USA. So Taylor just kept going, and I think that even though that she didn't win that Miss USA title, gosh, she was an incredible Miss Texas USA, and she made them proud. And I wish we would have seen that from our current Miss Texas here. But I'm very excited about her wardrobe since she makes and upcycles incredible pieces. Now, the one thing that I would change for her going to Miss USA is more natural eye makeup. In Texas, I'll tell you, it's a very pageanty state. So we see big hair, we see very, very full faces, and lots of makeup. But that doesn't translate very well on the Miss USA stage, and I think that that is where there has been a misstep in recent years, is styling for Miss Texas USA, but not styling for that Miss USA crown. I think last year's title holder, she did pull it back quite a bit, and I think that she even did that with her evening gown. But for our current title holder, she's beautiful. I just want to see a softer makeup look, especially for the evening gown competition. And I should say swim too. I really should, because swim should be light and fun and fresh. Washington is on my edge. She's a Pacific Northwest title holder like I was, so I'm very familiar with her directors and the type of prep that goes into those title holders. And the thing about her is that I feel that she is very, very beautiful. I feel that she's very beautiful. I feel that she's very photogenic. Love all of that, but I think that her styling is inconsistent. So just think about who she's going to be competing with. And if we look at this styling, this does not scream Miss USA to me. This does not scream Miss Universe to me. And you need to be ready for that. You need to be ready. There's no more time. There's no more time. It's Miss USA time. And I wish that we could change all of her wardrobe. So seeing this wardrobe and knowing the gown that she won her state title in, it concerns me for her wardrobe at Miss USA. And I've talked about this before. I think that has been a serious misstep for Pacific Northwest. And it's not just the contestants' fault, friends. A lot of the other states at USA, they have a lot more help with wardrobe styling. And also they have a lot more wardrobe sponsors, or a higher quality of wardrobe sponsors. So it's not just the contestants, because friends, it's pricey. You can't just, most of us can't just go out and have all these amazing outfits on hand all the time. So I get that. I relate to that. And I will say I have offered to work with the Pacific Northwest title holders. I have volunteered my time to work with them for wardrobe styling, to put them in some incredible pieces, but nobody has taken me up on that recently. So I'm sorry for that, friends. I would help if I could. I have offered that, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Those are my pre-arrival faves. My list can change depending on how these ladies show up. I cannot wait to look at all of their arrival photos. If you want to see an episode about that, comment below. But thank you for joining me for this one, and I look forward to bringing you lots of Miss USA content in the next coming weeks. Be sure to check out these other recent episodes for even more coverage.